Good morning. This on, is it not? Anyhow, if the stragglers will please find their seats, we will commence with the activity. Good morning. My name is Gene Langille, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. But first, if you have any kind of an electronic device in your possession that might go ring or beep or anything like that, please put it to sleep. I'd like to share a little thing, and in my reading I came across this a little article in the Gospel According to Reader's Digest, and I found a couple of things that I thought would be appropriate. Anyhow, a couple of actors. How many of you know of Jane Lynch? She's a tall blonde on the movie Glee, or on the says Glee. But anyhow, she says this: life is just a big, extended improvisation. Embrace the ever-changing, ever-evolving world with the best rule I've ever found. Say, yes, and then go ahead and do it. And then I think Bruce Dern was nominated for an Oscar in the movie Nebraska, and he had this to say, quote, "You know what the greatest remedy on earth is today? It's not a pill, it's not a shot, it's a hug. So with that word, will you give the people near you a good, big, welcoming hug?" Good morning again. I don't know if any of you have been observant and wondered why I'm wearing this hat. And someone said, it's Russian, isn't it? And so just for a moment then, I wore it because I want us all to remember our friends in the Ukraine. And Barbara Loger wanted us to be reminded once in a while about all of those folks over there. So now, without further commentary, let's see what Bodhi has for us this morning in the way of a chant.
Morning chant. Let's all stand up. Let's all stand up.
sound great. I would like to say congratulations to everyone who navigated daylight saving time and got here on time. That is very, very good for you. And then for those of you that were coming in, you can turn the volume off on this, but if you are a savvy techie, I would really like it if you would tweet or Facebook your friends right now and say where you are. Okay? Just say, I'm at the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, and Reverend Karyl is just now plunging into prayer. Okay?
Plunging into prayer.
Whoa.
Take the plunge.
So, this is our year of yes, and so this prayer is about that energy of yes. So I move into that awareness of God, and anybody else that wants to sigh like Posey, that's a good thing. With my eyes closed, I know Posey's sigh of contentment. And so, as I move into this sweet presence of God, the absolute, and even though I say the absolute, I am so aware of the forms around me that I love. For it is God and God alone that has created them. And so I become aware of that which creates it all. And I enter into such a big yes that has with it gratitude and intimacy and positive awareness, receptivity, non-judgment, acceptance, and infinite well-being. And as I connect with my infinite source with those qualities coloring this prayer and my awareness in this moment, I invite anyone else who wants to do that same thing to take that plunge with me and simply acknowledge that God is the source of everything. And as I center myself in divine acceptance with that great big yes, then I am more ready to receive the blessings that the Infinite One has just for me. For no one knows me better than my Creator. And no one knows what would delight me better than the one who made me and all that delights me. And so I say yes, 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 yes in this beautiful morning, and accept all of the blessings that are mine, because what I want to do with them is turn them right back out in the world. Give them away again so that I empty for more. Give them out, empty, accept more. Ah, what a good system. So, declaring that this is my system today, I release this prayer with gratitude into that divine law, and the whole universe says yes with me. And so it is. Amen. Woohoo! Yeah. Okay. So we are now welcoming a birthday boy right here. Bodie changed his number today, along with Suruta changing her number today. Yeah. One more year of wisdom and joy on the earth plane. Please welcome Sechko, Mies, and Juniper.
Yo! Yeah, good morning. We'll be singing tonight in San Rafael. If you guys are in San Rafael, want to come hear some more music tonight. And some of you know Pete Seeger just passed away, and we had a beautiful tribute concert for him last week with about 18 musicians and about 250 people came out, and we had a beautiful show at the Throckmorton. And this song came out of that. This is a Pete Seeger song, and we thought it would be really wonderful to share it with you. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. Some folks want to be like an ostrich, bury their head in the sand. Some hope that plastic dreams can unclench all those greedy hands. Some want to take the easy way, poison bombs, they think we need them. Don't you know you can't kill all the unbelievers? There's no shortcut to freedom. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shores, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. Go tell all the little children, and go tell all the mothers and fathers too. Now is our last chance to learn to share what's been given to me and you. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shores, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shores, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more?
What a perfection of harmony. My name is Michael Hart, and I'm your practitioner for the morning. And we'd like to begin with gratitude, and since this is our annual meeting day, who else would we give gratitude today but our wonderful core council, which has been serving us for a year. So can we have a round of applause for our core council? Maybe you'd all stand up. Woo! Yeah. Hours and hours and just as much love. So the topic for our children today is forgiveness. So you might want to close your eyes for just a moment and bring to mind someone you would like to give harmless passage through your mind as we join together today in supporting the children learning about forgiveness. Lessons that we go on learning our whole lives. So there are many, many things happening as usual in our community, and it's all in your bulletin. The biggest and most important one today is that this is the day for our annual meeting, so please stay after service. Everyone is welcome. Voting members are people who've been members for at least 60 days. And before the meeting, in between service and meeting, we're not going to leave you unentertained, of course. So there is a luncheon put on by Man Spirit for $10. So please stay and have lunch and come to the annual meeting. And also, Reverend Sarah, who has been doing this for countless years, is offering her monthly Il Fornau in the town center coffee and conversation, bringing spiritual practices to everyday life. Her topic this morning, this Thursday, from 8 to 9:30, will be Giver's Gain. And we should all know that as religious scientists. And also, Kathy and Skip Fowler, where are you? There they are having an evening of mindfulness at the Corte Madera at the Town Center community room this coming Friday, and there's information about that in your bulletin also. And finally, tonight, as Bodhi's birthday night, he and his group, sitting right before us today, will be giving his annual birthday concert at Studio 55 in San Rafael. So there's a little flyer on his table to find out more about that. So that is the announcements I'm highlighting today, but of course, again, there's much more in your bulletin, and it is my great honor to welcome those of you who may be here for the first time today on this glorious day of the new year of daylight savings, and to hope that you find here the home that all the rest of us have. We welcome you. We see your unique expression as that divine place where life itself has chosen to become you, and we hope you'll find what you look for here today. And so I turn it over to our wonderful spiritual leader, Reverend Karyl Huntley.
I just want you to take a look at this altar, and this would be a really wonderful thing for you to come up and just spend some time here as lunch is being prepared for you today. These little pots were made by the people who were at the spring ritual workshop on Friday evening, and they have little flags in all of these pansies with divine qualities, and so of course it represents the divine law. We plant a seed and we expect to get what we plant, and when we plant a quality in our lives by expressing it, that's what we give more of coming back to us. That's so simple, right? So darn simple. So, and Sandra Aguerrebere made this beautiful altar with these wonderful, wonderful bouquets and candles. So, this is the year of yes, and it is also the year when we are studying in depth what we believe, which is on that poster board over there. That's an essay that was written by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. And so what we're doing is just being really clear about as much as we can, because he's in the next realm, so I can't really ask him, but he left a lot of writings. And so we're being clear about what our founder believed about the nature of life and us in it. And we're trying on those pieces of philosophy to see if we like them ourselves. And this is such a do-it-yourself spiritual path that if you don't like it, you can throw it away. Whatever we believe, actually, the universe says to us, well, yes, that's right. Now, isn't that something? What we believe, the universe says, yes, that's right, and we get all kinds of proof that what we believe is true because our manifestations line up with our expectations. And in the Bible, it's said this way: it's done unto you as you believe. And that is just the darn truth. We can't expect these qualities of love and success to come to us when we're putting out negativity and competition and anger and frustration and that kind of thing. So this, for those of you that are new, our work is really about beliefs and that which follows them. The beliefs and then the words and then the actions. Because our Creator could not love us any more than the Creator already does. Our Creator could not have lavished on us any more blessings that are already lavished upon us. And so, my darlings, if you aren't getting all that you deserve, your work is with your beliefs. And that's what we're here to help you do. I'm working on my beliefs. All the practitioners and ministers are working on their beliefs, so don't feel like you're behind anything. You're right on time. So we are in March now, and this is the third statement of what we believe. It's right up here. It is, we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. 4 weeks on this. And then your home study as well. So we're going to get very familiar with these. I didn't count these words, but there are not too many of them. So the theme for March is soul. And my goal today is to be as simple as possible for all of us, including me. I need simple. And I also need useful, and I need relevant. So although a little bit of this talk is kind of like how many angels can dance in your soul at one time, it's also going to be, what are you going to do when you stand up and start speaking yourself at the end of this service? So from this statement, we get that our soul is an individual thing. Everybody has one, and it's yours. We get from this statement that it is growing. Somehow it's changing and expanding and evolving. That it does this forever, and that, therefore, we are immortal. We live forever. Now that is a whole lot of angels on the head of a pin, if you ask me. But our word for the day is immortality. And then every week we have a takeaway so that when you go home and your significant other, if they're not with you here, or the person that you have coffee with later this afternoon, they go, well, what have you done today? And you say, well, I went to service where I learned there is something about me and everyone that is forever. Why don't you just try saying that with me? There is something about me and everyone that is forever. Now, this is a very simple idea, and it's sort of mind-blowing if you're anything like me, because I cannot wrap my mind around forever. I can't, it's, I get 100 years and then a lot more. And after a lot more, there's more, a lot more. Until I can't even say how many times there's a lot more because it goes on forever, right? Nonetheless, that's the teaching. We are here forever, or in God. We're in God forever. So, this is the big textbook here. This is in the part of the textbook where Ernest is writing about Christ. And I want to tell you that Christ is that energy within us that is within each one of us. The Christ energy was in the man Jesus and also within all of us, exactly like Buddha nature is in all of us. If we were Buddhists, we would be talking about Buddha nature, and I could just as easily say Buddha nature, because I know some of us are Buddhists, some of us call ourselves Christians, some of us call ourselves all kinds of other things, but the uniformity of this teaching, I think, is really important. But in here, Ernest is talking about Christ. Fundamental to his concept of life, and that's Jesus' concept of life, was his belief in a universal spirit which he called God, or the Heavenly Father. This Heavenly Father was an intelligence to which he consciously talked and from which undoubtedly he received a definite reply. Now, many of us experience that too in our prayer work. Jesus located God within his own soul. Jesus located God within his own soul. So complete was this realization that he was unable to find a place where the being of Jesus began and the being of God left off, or where the being of God began and Jesus ceased to be. So, because in every single one of the writings in the New Testament and the Gospels, it's, we're no different than that great teacher. And so that's the one of the things that we can think about when we think about our soul, is that that's the God in us, and there's no place where God stops and we begin, and vice versa. Another person who said the very same thing, that's in language that I love, is the Irish mystic John O'Donoghue, who wrote, "The soul did not invent itself. It is a presence from the divine world, where intimacy has no limit or barrier." Now, when he links intimacy with this idea of the soul being from the divine world, I think it means that through the soul, I am known. I am known by God. I am loved by God. I am connected with and one with. So far today, let me just review a little linearly so we can all kind of have a little security because we've got a list here. The soul is our spiritual individuality lives on forever as one with God. That's the teaching so far. That our spiritual individuality, and each one is different, lives on forever, something we can't comprehend, but even so we say it. As one with God, there is no separation. So whatever makes us us is our soul, and always was and is now and always will be. So the title of my talk today is Our Seamless Flow of Presence. It's the God presence within us that flows through this life, that flowed into this life from the divine realm, that lives in us in this life and with us and around us and connects us to everyone else and lives in us as we leave this realm. So this soul business, I mean, I don't know about you, but I think it's kind of unfamiliar to us. I mean, it's kind of, I am much more acquainted with my mind than I am with my soul. Because my mind is very interesting, and I think and think and think and think, and you know that I do think a lot. But when I say, who am I? And I can say I am an individualized aspect of the one life, which is God. It is divine, it is forever, it is everlasting, it is perfect, whole, and complete, and that is who I am. I think I want to sit in that for a long time and feel into it. Because I think the soul doesn't use a lot of words. It is a being state. And so the reason I think that we're not very familiar with it is that if we realized that we were this unending flow of divine presence, we would never ever be afraid. Because nothing can happen to us, because it's all smoke and mirrors. If we think somebody dies or has a violent encounter, and there's still the divine flow of presence forever and ever expanding. We're still right there. So nothing bad could ever happen to us. It never can happen to us. We can't be harmed because we are one with God. And so is everyone else. So there's no need for any conflict whatsoever, because we can't do anything bad to anybody else either. Because they are a seamless flow of divine presence forever and ever expanding. So here we are, these children at play, in this divine realm of goodness, only needing to open up and say yes. And because we're not there all the time, I think we're not very familiar with our soul. Or we don't hang out in it as much as if we did, we would not be afraid. So, let's take a big breath about that. That's pretty fun, isn't it? Getting back here, our spiritual individuality lives on forever as one with God and loves evolution and expansion. So not only are we here forever and we're one with God and nothing bad can ever happen to us and there's nothing to be afraid about, we get to play in the fields of the Lord, forever and ever expanding. This seamless flow of presence is evolving and growing and becoming more aware of its divinity and living in all of these qualities that are growing in these pansies. So this is from the general summary in the textbook. And Ernest writes, true mystics confirm the reality of individuality. They have all agreed that the soul is on the pathway of experience, of self-discovery, on the way to its Father's house. They have told us of the marvelous relationship which exists between God and humankind, of a close union which cannot be broken. So this, it can't be broken no matter what. No matter if you do something that you've been told is really, really bad, no, oh well, you're still here, a part of the seamless flow of presence. And it seems like a really good use of our conscious mind that thinks, to come up with some ways that we might encourage our soul to evolve and expand, because it's going to anyway, and maybe we could play a little with that, give it some fodder, and have some conscious expansion and evolution that we could look and say, well, yes, I am more peaceful now, 20 years that I've been practicing this. So making life-giving choices all the time would seem to grow our soul. So from John O'Donohue again, the mystic, the Irish mystic, oh, he's so poetic. He says, the soul needs love as urgently as the body needs air. In the warmth of love, the soul can be itself. All the possibilities of your human destiny are asleep in your soul. You are here to realize and honor these possibilities. When love comes into your life, unrecognized dimensions of your destiny awaken and blossom and grow. So here is a clue about how we can use our conscious mind to help the evolution of our soul. And this is, okay, so if your eyes have symbolically rolled back in your head at this point, I'm coming up with a practical suggestion, okay? Practical suggestion about this is when we consciously choose life-giving thoughts, words, or actions, reflecting love, peace, light, joy, and other qualities that are up here on the altar, we grow our soul. So, we can add to this. Our spiritual individuality lives on forever as one with God and loves evolution and expansion. It is fed by conscious, positive thoughts and actions. So what that means is that every time you live in love, in truth, and in beauty, every time the bookstore people make a beautiful design with the books and create beauty, they are evolving their soul. Every time the altar team creates a magnificent altar like this filled with beauty, they are evolving their soul. Every time you sit with a friend and just exude love, no matter what they tell you, you are evolving your soul. Every time you let go of conflict, anger, separation, comparison, fear, and judgment, every time you learn to forgive quickly, you are evolving your soul. And if you lost track of that, what are the good things and what are the things to avoid? I'm going to tell you, take any class and see a practitioner after the service and say, what did she say about what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to not do? It's very simple, but because we are so seduced by the world and by the news and by the Ukraine thing and by the Malaysian airplane and all this stuff, we forget we're not familiar enough with our soul to just live there and say, you know, those people wherever they are on this planet, going through whatever they are going through, are a seamless flow of divine presence, forever and ever expanding. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't help. This doesn't mean that you don't send blankets and send money and clean houses of people that can't do it for themselves. That, when that's done with love, that evolves your soul as well. But all spiritual work makes life better in the moment and the next moment and in eternity. Now, I would think that these are compelling, positive reasons to live a spiritually positive life. There's no earthly reason to live in anger, conflict, judgment, comparison, separation. There's no reason to do that. Your soul will evolve, but it'll evolve in spite of all these things. So about this time, when I was thinking about this, and I was saying, oh my gosh, what else can I say? What story can I give about my evolution of my soul? Oh, you guys, I have to tell you that after giving a talk almost every Sunday since 1989, every once in a while something like this happens. Literally, I was in this place, and Melanie, my daughter, sends me this text. She says, I'm going to send you a short story that you'll love on your email. Read it, and then tell me how much you love it. I loved it. And I'm going to read it to you right now, because this is the example that I wanted. And it's a 3-page story, so you can sit back and be told a story. Okay? You were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident. Nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their very best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered, you were better off, trust me. And that's when you met me. What happened, you asked. Where am I? You died. I said matter-of-factly, no point in mincing words. There was a truck and it was skidding. Yep, I said. I died? Yep. But don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You look around. There was nothingness, just you and me. What is this place, you asked? Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. Are you God? You asked. Yep, I said. I'm God. My kids, my wife, you said. What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died, and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I looked like some man, or possibly a woman, some vague authority figure maybe, more of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but will be secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, you said. So what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, you said. So the Hindus were right. Well, all religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. You followed along as we strode through the void. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So what's the point then, you asked? When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby? So all my experiences and everything I did in this life won't matter? Oh, not so, I said. You have within you all of the knowledge and experience of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it back out, you've gained all the experiences it had. You've been in a human for the last 48 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung out here for long enough, you'd start remembering everything. But there's no point to do that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots. Lots. Lots and lots. And into lots of different lives, I said. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 A.D. Wait, what? You stammered. You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically. Time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where do you come from? You said. Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else, and there are others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know what's happening. So, what's the point of it all? Seriously? I asked, seriously? You're asking me for the meaning of life? Isn't that a little stereotypical? Well, it's a reasonable question, you persisted. I looked you in the eye. The meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe, is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else. I said, in this universe, there's just you and me. You stared blankly at me. But all the people on earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it, I said, with a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human that ever lived, or whoever will live, yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln, and you're John Wilkes Booth, too, I added. I'm Hitler, you said, appalled. You're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus, and you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimize someone, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy and sad moment ever experienced by any human was or will be experienced by you. You thought for a long time. Why? You asked me. Why do all this? Because someday you'll become like me. Because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said, incredulous. You mean I'm a god? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So, the whole universe, you said, is just an egg. I answered. Now, it's time for you to move on to your next life. And I sent you on your way. So, receive that into your soul. Don't try to really understand it, especially if a part of you is arguing with it. I want, no matter what you believe, this exactly or something entirely different, there's something that we can go back to that is the simplest and most practical part. And that is, think about all that is good. Talk about all that is good. Act with love and equanimity. Every single conscious action, and make more actions conscious. Call one another back to this simple way of life. It's all about oneness. It's all about mastering our thoughts and our choices. And whatever eternity holds for us, it will be good. And so now let's go into the inner work. So as we just sit with our mind blown, which is just wonderful, losing our mind at this moment is wonderful. I turn to peace. And I turn away from conflict. Everything that was out of alignment with peace and love and joy, disappears into the nothingness from which it came. Because I know that peace is now. So I conjure up all of the varieties of peace. All of the peace that seems related to love. All of the peace that seems related to forgiveness. All of the peace that seems related to joy and to beauty. So that all I perceive is a multicolored peace. And all that exists for me is peace. Peace is now. Above me, and peace is below me. My seamless flow of presence is in peace for eternity, and all that I meet and all that I draw into my sphere of influence feel this peace also. In my incarnation now, there is peace, and there is peace into my eternity. Because peace is now, and now, and now, and now.
Is everybody transported to another place between those two things? Wow. Rhythm of my breath is dancing like a river so wild and free. Inspiration like purple velvet colors, so wide and deep. Blowing like a gust of wind, clearing out the cobwebs inside of me. Washing out the basement of my soul, I awaken from an ancient sleep. And I'm in ecstasy, and I'm in ecstasy, and I feel the ecstasy in my soul. And I'm in ecstasy, and I'm in ecstasy, and I feel the ecstasy in my soul, in my soul, in my soul. Standing on the edge, swaying with the breeze, I learn to flow. Melting all resistance, I relax, find my strength and let it go. Way off in the distance, off to the far horizon, there's a rainbow. Beyond the worldly success, there's an internal peace that we can know. Ecstasy, a diamond ecstasy, and I feel the ecstasy in my soul. And I'm in ecstasy, a diamond ecstasy, and I feel the ecstasy in my soul, in my soul, in my soul. Like purple velvet colors, so wide and deep, blowing like a gust of wind, clearing out the cobwebs inside of me. Washing out the basement of my soul, I awaken from an ancient sleep. And I'm in ecstasy, and I'm in ecstasy, and I feel the ecstasy in my soul. And I'm in ecstasy, and I'm in ecstasy, and I feel the ecstasy in my soul, in my soul, in my soul.
So would the ushers please come forward now? And this is what we're going to do right now in giving our tithes and offerings is one of those positive activities that links heaven and earth. Because although it seems like money is of this earth, and it really isn't. It is the symbol of the energy that flows from your life through the life of this community and then out into the larger world and then into you again and then flowing back and flowing into and flowing out of. And it is also a divine flow of presence. And so if you would just take this symbol of that action in your life and infuse it with the peace that we just sang about. All of those gifts of your soul, putting into this symbol of your energy, that blesses this community as well. So we give thanks for all the gifts that we are about to receive so that we can give them out again. Blessed be. Would the ushers please receive the gifts?
Source.
receive today. We are so blessed, and so it is. Amen. And there you go. Oh, she was in her soul. So we're about ready to close the service part. Please make sure that you visit the altar, sign up for some things, buy a book, get ready to have a wonderful lunch, and please stay for our really wonderful meeting. And it's pretty much good news. So Michael's going to pray us out.
So would the practitioners please come forward? And these are practitioners who give you freely of their time and talent today, so that if there's anything incomplete in you that you want to celebrate or resolve further, please see one of them at the table after service. And would the other practitioners please surround us with that high consciousness as we move into spiritual mind treatment together. And so releasing all that has come before this moment and all the good yet to come. I bring my attention to that infinite ecstasy, to that one life that lives itself and rolling and turning in ecstasy creates anew the universe of universe, the system of systems, and each thing in, on, around, through, as, over, under it. One life living itself here and now, and I remember that its bedfellow is peace. That sublime harmony that implies peace, that becomes peace, that infuses all with peace, is also that one life living itself here and now. And so I know that I am a creature made of ecstasy and of peace. And as I know this for myself, so I know it for each one within the sound of my voice. Each one is a beingness, is an example of that beingness that is that ecstasy and that peace. And knowing that perhaps the pathway between and to each of these is forgiveness, I call forth in myself and in each one within the sound of my voice that opening in consciousness, that new awareness of life as that dazzling goodness, as that infinite peace that enables each of us to release anything unlike it standing in our way, so that each one might know here and now that peace that is the beginnings of joy, that is the beginnings of love, that is the beginnings of power, of freedom, of abundance, of all good things. So that standing in this knowing, each one is free, is power, is love. And I celebrate this. I give thanks for that in each one that is willing to be willing to know in a new way, to make real, to realize the truth. And I release this, my word, to that law of mind, that knowing in one place knows in all places, and that takes every avenue for the further exploration and creation of its ecstasy and of its peace. And so it is. Amen.
So would you all please stand for our affirmation and closing song. So right up here, my conscious thoughts, my positive words, and my empowered actions make my life experience happier. They make this world a better place and serve the expansion and evolution of my soul into eternity. Blessed be.